Welcome back inside the Switzer Center. It's signing day 2012 as we look at the class almost full now. Every letter intent seems to be rolling through on the fax machine. The busiest day, maybe the only day of the year that the fax machine is busy anymore. Yeah. And Jay Norvell, co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, has joined us. And first of all, Coach, I don't think there's been any bones about it so far. This receiving class is, for lack of a more professional term, awesome. Congratulations.
We're very, very excited. Signing day is kind of the end of a long process, and to finally see those faxes come in and to be able to congratulate the kids and their families it's pretty satisfying. And a lot of hard work went into it from the whole staff and everybody involved. And our kids really get involved in recruiting. They do a fabulous job when the kids come to campus of spending time with the guys and really showing them a good time and following through with them throughout the process. So it's been a long haul for everybody, but we're pretty pleased today.
And if you don't doubt the role that Kenny Stills or Tony Jefferson played in recruiting, just ask them on Twitter and they'll tell you, right? They'll let you know. They think they should be the recruiting coordinators.
Yeah,
but they did an awesome job.
There's no question.
The players, we've talked about it a lot, Jay. You and your staff and the assistants and obviously Coach Stoops do a great job on the coaching side of things, but there's only so much you can do. There has to be that camaraderie between the guys that are here, and they really help make that happen.
In this day and age, it's just a different world. I left college football for 6 years to go to the NFL, and when I came back, there was cell phones, there was internet, everything has changed. And with social networking now, kids in Tampa, Florida can talk to kids in California and Missouri and everywhere in between, and it's almost like they're just across town. They begin to have real close relationships, and even with the kids on your campus, I don't think you can really underestimate the effect that has on kids when they make their decisions. And there's a chemistry that's built throughout the process, and it has a powerful effect as you go towards the end. So our kids do a great job. When kids come to campus, they talk to families, they talk to parents, they tell them what it's like to go to school here, and they're as powerful as anything in the process as far as getting kids to come here. So it's really a group effort, and it's really a neat class. One of the things about these kids, they're not only great athletes, but they're tremendous people and great kids with really unique stories. And, I think the greatness of Oklahoma is just the type of people that come here that kind of roll up their sleeves and believe in the tradition of this place. And these kids are great examples of that. They come from different backgrounds, different parts of the country, but they all have that similar desire to be a part of something special in the tradition of Oklahoma. And that's what makes me so proud to have them part of our family.
Jay, it's funny. We talk about how active guys like Tony and Kenny and Brendan are on Twitter and how great of recruiters they are, because let's be honest, they've helped make this class what it is. You're probably the most active coach on Twitter. How have you seen? The social?
Communicate with guys like Stills. So, I never thought I'd be on Facebook or Twitter or any of that stuff, and I kind of picked it up a couple years ago as a social experiment more than anything. But the world has changed. If you think that you can function in this world without a computer, it's going to pass you by. And there's no question that we spend a lot of our time communicating with families and kids that are thousands of miles away from Oklahoma. So we got to find ways to do that creatively on a daily basis, and it's the way of the world. I don't think there's any turning back, and you just got to kind of have fun with it. And but it's crazy. It takes self-discipline, and we're always trying to encourage our kids to use it in the right way. But we'll continue to try to make strides to reach out to people and tell them the story of Oklahoma. It's amazing how knowledgeable a kid in Rockland, California, or a kid in St. Louis, Missouri, or a kid from Inglewood, California can sit down and tell you about the history of Oklahoma. And it's pretty exciting. You know, you spend any time in Inglewood, California, and I have quite a bit in the last few months. I mean, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat that we have Oklahoma Sooner tradition walking around in Southern California. So that's pretty cool.
Talks about the global reach of this program as well, too, does it not?
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Before we look at some of the highlights, Jay, I just would be curious that it didn't really strike me until I was looking at the numbers yesterday and preparing for our webcast today. Boy, those were slim numbers at the receiver position, because by the time that Ryan had graduated and DeJuan Miller had moved on, you're down to Kinney, Jazz Reynolds, Trey Franks. And that's what I feel
Camille
like,
Jackson,
and Camille Jackson, right, from last year's class.
Yeah, we really try to be specific. The way the last season ended up, we had a couple guys leave and decide to move on. And, we really encourage, if a kid feels like it's just not working the way he wanted it to, we want him to have success. We sit down with these kids in their families' houses, and we tell them that we're going to look out for them and help them get their degrees and do all the right things with them. And sometimes it's just not meant to be. And so, I think Coach Stoops is fabulous with these kids. We're just at a situation where we only have 4 scholarship receivers. And so, we sat down with these kids. We told them, not only do we want you, but we need you. Nobody throws the ball more than us. Probably, I think, Houston and Texas Tech threw one more pass than us last year. We want to throw the football. We're very good at it. We don't have to take a backseat to anybody in the country. And to play for a coach like Coach Stoops, who's as experienced and had as much success as anybody in the country, we just got so many positives to sell kids and to sell wide receivers. And with the success that Ryan had, kids want to be a part of it. They want to catch balls from Landry Jones. They want to play with the great quarterbacks that we've developed here. And it's exciting to play in this stadium and to wear the Oklahoma uniform. It's just very, very special across the country. And I just think it's so neat how these kids are from everywhere. I mean, they're not just from Oklahoma. They're just not from Texas. They're from California. They're from Missouri. Trey Metoyer was in Virginia. I mean, I never thought I'd make so many trips to Chatham, Virginia, but it just worked out that way. But it's really, really neat because, there's not a part of this country that's not touched by this program, and that's really exciting. And the kids that come here will give us a special chemistry that I think we'll really benefit from. And, they're hungry kids. They're blue-collar kids. They're kids that just are really excited about the opportunity to represent Oklahoma. And that's pretty exciting.
Well, let's not waste any more time in just telling you how great they are. Let's watch some highlights of them. Now, we've seen a lot of these highlights. We talked with Coach Heupel, but what about the guy that recruited him? Jay Norvell is here with us. And you mentioned Trey Metoyer. This kid has difference maker written all over him, Coach.
This kid is just a natural ball catcher. He's like a human vacuum cleaner. He loves to catch the football. He was one of the most accomplished receivers in Texas high school history. Just came a few receptions short after a late audit from the Texas High School Association. Didn't end up being the all-time receptions leader in the state of Texas. But what a great player. Huge football IQ. Loves to catch the ball. Tremendous competitor. And just, he's got natural ball-catching skills. We talk about upper body flexibility. Trey Metoyer has it, and he's got huge hands. If he shook your hand, he just envelops your whole hand. He had to go to Hargrave Military, which is in Chatham, Virginia. He became an expert at making his bed and doing push-ups, and he should be able to teach our guys a thing or two. So.
You know, and just real quick, because we're going to look at some Sterling Shepard stuff coming up here in just a bit. But you mentioned Trey Metoyer, and you talked about that football IQ. What does it mean when you have a guy that's hungry and thirsty for more information about the game?
He's just a great competitor and great basketball player, too. I spent a lot of nights in White House, Texas, and East Texas watching him play basketball. He's just a natural. He's a natural. Some guys just – Brian Broyles is a natural. I mean, he just finds seams and finds ways to make plays. Trey's like that. He just makes play after play after play. Trey's a bigger guy, though. He's one of our bigger receivers. You know, we've been working hard to make our group a little bit bigger, more physical, and Trey is certainly that. He's 205 pounds. He's got a man set of shoulders on him. He's got a huge V in the back of his back, and he's just a very mature guy for a guy that's literally a true freshman coming in here. He's traveled the road. He's been in the military. He's wore a uniform for the last 6 months, and I think that experience will help him. You know, kids come from all kind of different situations and backgrounds, and sometimes kids just aren't ready. They're not mature for the next level yet, and Trey went to a situation, and it was a blessing that he was able to go to Hargrave. The people there were fabulous. They really trained him to understand discipline in his life. And I think he's going to be better served for it here when he gets to Oklahoma. I mean, just as far as academically, how he'll handle his business, how he's going to deal with Schmitty in the weight room, and how he's going to interact with his teammates. He definitely has ability to be a leader, and we're hoping all those qualities come in one package for us.
Trey Metoyer is already on campus. Sterling Shepard is on his way to campus. He'll enroll, of course, in the fall, and what a good-looking young athlete.
You know, I think this guy is really, really unique and really special. And I told him and his mom just earlier this morning, you know, we couldn't be prouder to have him. You know, when you have lineage in your family and you know, his father and his uncles play here, we know when he walks on that field, he's going to be playing for more than just himself. And just a great, versatile player, great ball skills, excellent return man, you know, super open field runner. And some guys, when you watch their highlights, you could just feel, you know, his heart and soul pumping out of him. And this guy has that. He's just a great all-around versatile athlete, the kind of guy that really flourishes in our offense because, you know, we'll find ways to get him the football, and he can do so many different things. He's going to help us on special teams too.
Standout player, of course, as you mentioned, this was one of the plays that stood out to us where you see not only the speed, but his ability physically to go up and get the football, Sterling Shepard. Now, he'll fight for playing time with the reason you're in Inglewood, California so much, Derek Woods.
Yeah, we finally got a boy from the wood. I spent a little time in Los Angeles, and Inglewood is famous for the last home of the L.A. Lakers before they moved to Staples Center. And
Fabulous Forum.
The Fabulous Forum, and actually Derek lives just a few blocks from the Forum. But what a great school, super spirit in that place. They've had great athletes there. You know, just a neat place. And this kid is so hungry to come to Oklahoma, absolutely loves the Sooners. You know, SC made a late charge on him, and I was always concerned about them coming after him because they're about just a few blocks away from his school. But he loves Oklahoma and he can't wait to be here. And early on in the recruiting process, I just knew that he really had strong feelings for us. And I just thought he was just such a great athlete. We could not turn this guy down. He could play anything on the field, running back, quarterback, wide out. He's a great defensive player as well. But those guys just find ways to make plays for you. And super with the ball in his hands, super elusive, great intangibles as well.
And there's Courtney Gardner. Boy, you guys did a great job too, Coach Norvell, and the guys that were making decisions today. Courtney Gardner, JUCO guy, again, looks like a very big physical receiver.
I spent 6 years in the National Football League, and really trying to find guys like this guy. I mean, he's got size, he's got strength, he's super explosive, soft hands, great open field runner, just a special kind of a guy. And it's hard to find all those qualities in one player. And what's amazing is how big he is and how well he runs in the open field. He's a fiery competitor. He's a kid from New Iberia, Louisiana, family in Lafayette. Katrina kid who ended up going to California, Reno, Nevada, actually. Went to junior college in California. And this is one of my favorite clips right here. It's just unbelievable. This kid zigzags the field at 220 pounds and never lifted a weight, never really trained. He's got the whole world in front of him, and I can't wait till we get him with Schmitty and get him on a program where he's working out for 12 months because it's just scratching the surface of what he can do.
Yeah, just an unbelievable athlete and a great addition. Now, we're not going to get to see video of Deron Neal, but, Coach, out of DeSmit Jesuit High School in St. Louis, Missouri, you talked about traveling all over. Let's see, Virginia, Inglewood, and St. Louis as well, too. Give us a quick snapshot of the guy.
This guy, I'll do him service without video. This guy is one of my favorite kids I've ever recruited. People really don't understand the pressure that these kids get put under. He's right in St. Louis, the biggest Missouri media market in the Midwest. Half the city of St. Louis wanted him to go to Missouri. He had other recruits and other players that are well-known nationally wearing him out the last 3 days. This kid absolutely loves Oklahoma. He can tell you everything about the history from Bud Wilkinson to Barry Switzer to all the great players, and he wants to be great. And fabulous. His highlights are off the charts. Played running back, played wide receiver, return man, played corner, wildcat guy, incredibly explosive, tough competitor, absolutely loves to play the game, and will be a tremendous leader for us as well as a great player.
All around a solid receiving class, which leads to our Twitter question at OU_football for Coach
Twitter.
Jay Norvell. Yeah, which means if you're not following at OU_football, you need to make sure you follow Coach Norvell too. Nick Gray. So, Nick, congratulations from the OUIT store. You've won a pair of tickets to the OU Red-White game on April 14th. We'll give away more pairs throughout the morning, or you can get tickets right here at Soonersports.com or by calling 800-456-GO-OU. Seems to be kind of a consistent question that Nick Gray's asking, but he writes, Coach Norvell, how important was the return, this isn't from Nick. The question that was actually on hand was wanting to know which wide receivers would have an opportunity to play right away. Which wide receivers in this class do you think have a chance to step in and play right away?
It's just the way we recruit, and it's Coach Stoops' philosophy. I mean, we don't recruit guys to redshirt.
Yeah.
And so every one of these guys that we are recruiting has a chance to help us next year. And, we never promise anybody, unlike other schools, we never promise anybody that they're going to start or that they have a position. We give them the opportunity to compete, just like all of our guys that are here on campus. And, the cream will always rise to the top here at Oklahoma. That's why we got all those championship banners. And so nothing's promised. It always has to be earned. And we've got a number of guys in this class that all have an opportunity to play as freshmen. So that'll all depend on how they handle, Trey and Metoyer in spring practice, and then how they handle summer conditioning and their workouts in training camp. But we're really excited. We feel like it's a strong class, it's a deep class, and it's a group of guys that can come in and help us immediately.
I want to make sure I give credit to Matt Foles. So congratulations, Matt. Your question got asked on the webcast today. You win a pair of tickets to the Red-White game. Jay Norvell, what a great conversation.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the great class. Spectacular.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the OU wide receivers coach. Hey, OU men's basketball returns to the Lloyd Noble Center Saturday versus Iowa State. Tip-off is set for 5 p.m. Tickets are available for as low as $10. Additional fees may apply. The first 1,000 fans will receive a limited edition OU hat designed by Coach Kruger. and presented by I Love College Hoops. 1-800-456-GO-OU. We're just going to take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We've got members of the class that are coming up next inside the Sooner recruiting class of 2012 here on Soonersports.com.